Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Middleton. Thank you for joining the Prince George's County Blue Recreation Blue Ribbon Work Group. Tonight marks our second listening session that the work group is holding. We are here tonight to hear from you, to hear about your concerns with regards to everything pertaining to recreation services, particularly youth sports and other recreation services provided here in Prince George's County. I do want to make sure that we note those who are here tonight to speak. We ask that you make sure your Zoom screen name matches the name you use to sign up. That will ensure that we can identify you and allow you to speak during our session tonight. So please make sure that everything is corresponding from there. As we proceed with everything, we're going to give everyone about 2 minutes to speak. I will give you a signal when you have about 30 seconds, and then we ask you to politely wrap it up, and so we can hear from everyone. Well, we do have quite a few people who signed up to speak tonight. So without further ado, before we get started with everything, I will throw it to the work group chair, Ms. Donna Herring, for some remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to share what the work group responsibilities are in case someone is not aware. It is that we are going to provide recommendations on improving the access to the existing youth sports, arts, and recreation programming available to residents of the county, improve access to publicly owned facilities, fields, gyms, improve access to opportunities for county-based minority-owned and small businesses. We are going to look for potential cost benefits, advantages, and disadvantages of possibly transferring the responsibility for specific operations. And we are going to see how a different entity could possibly fund the cost of any actuarial deficiencies or adverse financial consequences. Without further ado, I will turn it back over to Mr. Middleton.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. First person I see that we have here tonight is Ms. Rakita Thomas. So in just a moment, I'm going to invite you to speak on the call. So give me just one moment, please. Thank you. Ms. Thomas, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you for coming. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. First, I want to say good evening. Thank you for the work group for putting this together. And inviting the county residents to speak. I first want to start by saying my name is Raquita Thomas. I am a wife, a mother of 3 kids. I grew up in PG County my whole life. And I'm still a resident of PG County. PG County is a county that I love and adore. But a couple of things that is really dear to my heart that I just wanted to speak on tonight. Growing up in PG County, I was a huge product of Park and Recs and all of the sports facilities that PG County offered me. My family was just a normal family with not much education, but education. And they had to use the resources in the county to give us the things that we need. And I'm forever grateful for PG County because of all of the resources that the county offered. I was able to do sports. I was able to gain mentorship. I learned so much and grew off of just being a product of the youth sports. And now I'm fast forwarding into being an adult. I have kids that live in PG County, and it saddens me to say that I don't feel like they're getting the same thing that I got. I see a huge disconnect with just the programs that we have now in PG County. I don't think that it's available. I don't think that parents, I don't think that the citizens of the county know that we have it. I would like to see us do a lot better at making sure that that we know that this county have facilities and have programs here that can take youth sports to another level so that we don't have to go to other counties. My kids are very active in the sports world, and I know currently right now I have to do a lot of things outside of the county to give them the tools that they need. And I think that we have a lot of brilliant, young, talented people in this community. And if we just pull our resources together here, I don't think that we would need to go out the county to be able to train or just do anything that we're currently doing now. And I think that if we just as a county start providing those resources, and when I say providing those resources, not just from the Parks and Recs, even from the PG County schools, having some type of process where parents know where to go to be able to get these type of activities, to get this type of training, to learn new different things all at one time instead of going to other different counties. For example,
Ms. Thomas, that's that we're at time.
oh, okay. Thank you.
Apologize for that. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I'm very passionate about it. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm looking forward to PG County growing and the resources growing and staying in the community. And I hope that PG County residents stay in the community and actually take pride and use the facilities and programs here. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
The next person I see on the list here is Ryan Penley. So Ryan, we're going to bring you on in just a moment, please. Ryan, are you there? You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm at basketball practice right now with 7th and 8th grade boys in Prince George's County. Caleb, can you have them run 5-on-5 scrimmage? Sorry, guys. We're live in action. I'm a commissioner with a local basketball club, University Park Sports. And I was asked if I would be up for just kind of chiming in to share a little bit of perspective from my angle. We got about 160 kids registered in Prince George's County for this one basketball league. And one of the things I thought I would do is just chime in to share as a resident of 22 years in Prince George's County. I love being in the county, love raising my kids here. One of the troubles that we've had is actually just gym use for kids. We had a lot of kids that want to play basketball, but we've had trouble getting access to the gyms. And so I just wanted to voice just some of the headache that it's been with a hope that we could see some changes. My heart is solely for the kids and whatever red tape we got to get through or whatever we got to do to make sure any kid that wants to play can play. That's my goal. And so I just wanted to weigh in and just share, as we've been trying to reserve spaces in Prince George's County at elementary, middle schools, it's been really, really challenging. We've used the school dudes system. And yeah, I think that's what it's called, School Dudes or whatever that is. We've tried that program, and there's a whole cycle that has to kind of run its course, and we keep getting dead ends. So a principal might say, hey, you can use the gym, and then we come back and it gets back to somebody at Parks and Rec, and we're told no, or the other way around. Parks and Rec says it's available, and then the principal just says no, it's not available. So we have insurance, we have the funds, we have kids that want to play. And so with that, my goal is to get every kid out on the court that wants to play, get them away from screen time, get them into some good activity. And we got a great program to do it, but the barriers that exist make it quite challenging. We started in October trying to reserve gym space, and we didn't get any gym space except for one elementary school. That came to a whole lot of time and persuasion to get access. And so it's just been a nightmare. And so I would love for us as adults to figure out how can we make it easier for leagues like ours to have gym space to help get the kids out on the court and playing. So that's all I want to share. Appreciate you guys, and so grateful for a call like this that we can share problems and try to solve together. So thank you.
Thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Next person we have is, I apologize for the pronunciation if I'm wrong, Sham Chotu.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, should I start?
Please, yes.
Okay. So I'm the cricket commissioner for the Bowie Boys and Girls Club, and I've been, in contact with PG Parks for the past 9 years. When we first started, there was very little youth cricket, but now we have more than 800 kids playing cricket in Maryland and Virginia. But 9 years ago, my initial meetings with PG Parks and Rec were about building a cricket pitch on an existing underutilized field in Bowie. Because at that time, we really didn't have any cricket fields dedicated for youth cricket, and we were now starting up. And, I contacted PG Parks, and, Bill Sheehan is there on the call. So he, I worked with him in the past too, and others at PG Parks. There was some definite interest from PG Parks to build a cricket field for us so that we can get it off the ground. But for some reason or another, I identified a field that was available, that's underutilized, that's owned by PG Parks, but PG Parks showed an interest to build a cricket field there, but it didn't happen, right? And so back then, communication wasn't as great as it was. But so what we did, we worked with PG County Schools, and we were able to build 3 cricket fields in Bowie and 1 at University Park Elementary School. And those pitches have really propelled the growth of youth cricket. And now we have the largest youth cricket program in the country. And over the past 2 years, we have been in contact with PG Parks again about building larger fields for older kids. And, we've had more positive interaction working with Thomas Palucci and Sean Beaumont at PG Parks. And both Sean and Thomas are making a big difference, and communication has been a little bit better, and they have made us aware of possible new cricket fields in the near future. So we are hoping that this time, we'll have a better, more productive time with PG Parks and Rec to be able to deliver a cricket field for the fastest growing sport in the country. And, so I've spoken to Bill Sheehan recently, and he made me aware also of some upcoming projects. So we are, excited to continue working with PG Parks, and hopefully we can have a much more productive relationship as we move forward. And things are looking very positive for us. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. The next person we have here is Steve Bauer. Just a moment.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks for letting me speak this evening. I'm Steve Bauer. I am the sitting president for the Prince George's Pride Boys and Girls Lacrosse Club. I've been involved with youth sports in the county for almost 12 years, a resident for 25. I raised my kids here, and my eldest is in college as a result of playing lacrosse at the Naval Academy now. I'm here to sort of echo and piggyback on some of the similar themes that you've heard, namely allowing the doers, the passionate moms and dads, the volunteers, unimpeded space towards, places to play. Mine was generally outdoors, but getting access to fields and that process is difficult, to put it mildly. Namely, when you're trying to run a program and advertise in advance for recruiting, just the sort of acquisition and reservation of playing spaces, and indoor during the winter as well. But it's the same sort of theme that you've heard to date. It's challenging, it's last minute, or it gets a little convoluted with who's in charge, whether it's the local school or the park and planning, et cetera. But nonetheless, it's very difficult for the people that are actually doing the work, whether it's the coaching or the organizing, to run programs for our county youth. When it comes to that basic part of it, that's just outside of like running a league. That's a different, I think, element to what park and planning has tried to support and do. So I don't want to belabor that or pile on or make it too negative. But I think, by and large, I'm really here to represent that larger piece of allowing those that are going to do the work a chance, a snowball's chance to actually get out there and have legal access and rights to spaces that are paid for with our tax dollars. Last thing I'll say before coming off would be just the experience when you do step outside of the county, which is the harder part of swallowing, I think, is that when we all, especially if you get outside of the recreation components of sport and start doing more traveling and getting outside, you begin to see what it's like in adjacent leagues and counties at the rec level and beyond. And it's a difficult thing to kind of walk away with as a proud Prince George and a lifelong Prince Georgian. And then, of course, my time is kind of coming past. I'm still involved, but I'm really holding on to it for that passing off to my children, so that when my grandchildren come around, it's not so challenging and it's not going to be held up by individuals, but can be really established with a community with maybe less passionate folks. Because I think that's important that we kind of adjudicate to the lowest common denominator, not people that are saints, but really how do we get this into the masses and the hands of people that can just go with simple processes and spaces to play in. With that, I'll close. Okay.
We appreciate it.
Thank
so
you.
much. I don't see a last name, but we have a Rachel here. So Rachel, we're going to give you just a second to come on and speak.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Actually, that's my daughter's name.
Oh,
So I'm Andrea Thomas, and I live in Mitchellville, and thank you for the opportunity to speak regarding my family's experience with the Prince George's County Parks and Recreation Services. First, I want to say that I support keeping Prince George's Parks and Recreation as part of Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. We have access to exceptional parks and recreational opportunities over the lifespan, from the youngest to our oldest residents. Most importantly, these recreational opportunities are equally accessible to those with and without disabilities. My daughter with a disability has had the opportunity for access to a full array of parks and recreational opportunities with the help of inclusion services. She's attended summer camps, before and after care in the northern and central areas of the county with her typical peers. She's gone skiing, snow tubing, canoeing, kayaking, ice skating, swimming, bowling, attended a multitude of performances at the Public Playhouse, Newton White Mansion, Montpelier, and other historic facilities. We participated in the Great American Campout at Patuxent River Park, participated in campfires at Watkins Park, and continue to enjoy the beauty of walks and visits at the Nature Center at Watkins Park. As an avid runner, I've had the opportunity to run many of the beautiful trails in our parks. I also went on my first canoe trip with another mom at Jug Bay years ago. This experience encouraged me to be a Girl Scout leader and to enjoy the beauty of outdoor activities. Beyond these wonderful experiences, we have learned that there are caring and exceptionally qualified staff at Prince George's County Parks and Recreation. I say this because I think sometimes when you have access to really excellent services, you can take them for granted. Quite simply, I believe that we have the best and most inclusive parks and recreation programs in the nation. If there's something that some in our county might want to change about parks and recreation services, we at the Adults with Developmental Disabilities Citizens Advisory Committee suggest that you sit down with Parks and Recreation and they will work with you to make changes. More than 20 years ago, Prince George's County Parks and Recreation made the bold step to support inclusion for children and adults with disabilities. This was not an easy step, since many families were fearful of and did not support inclusion. Despite this, PG Parks and Recreation moved forward with supporting inclusion. That decision was earth-shattering for a generation of children and adults with disabilities in Prince George's County who've been able to be included in all recreational opportunities in our county. As a result, Prince George's County Parks and Recreation has been a national model for inclusion, winning national awards for inclusion for many years. They're not willing, and we also want to say they are not willing to just simply rest on their exceptional accomplishments with inclusion. Prince George's County Parks and Recreation continues to provide new opportunities for people with disabilities. This fall, they rolled out a new program called Choices, offering daytime recreational opportunities for adults with
Ma'am, we're at time.
developmental disabilities.
Ma'am, we're at time.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you
Thank
so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
thank you.
Next on the list, we have Belinda Queen.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you so very much, you guys. I'm Belinda Queen, and I'm calling in concerning Park and Recreation Center. You guys know that our Maryland National Capital Park and Planning is a 6-star, and they have been doing an awesome job. I'm not truly understanding why we would decide to actually move Park and Recreation to anything else. They have been a great partnership in the community with nonprofits, with other organizations. They've been connected to a lot of our school systems, which you guys know I served on a former school board. We work in partnership. It has been a great thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, as a former elected official, my worry is, to be honest with you, if the county take over, it will be more of a political thing, and people will, the information as a advocate who's been an advocate in this county even way before I ran, I believe it will be an issue where people would take this to a political. Park and Recreation, because I sat on a Park and Recreation advisory board for a couple of years, and I loved serving. And I know Ms. Ramos can tell you I do a lot out in the community. And when I go around to all the parks and recs, if I see something, I say something, I let them know what needs to be done. But what I find is the information the Park and Rec collects, whether it's on the civic associations or the nonprofit, or whether it's the people who come out and sign up, that other people who are running for office can take this and use this for political. I don't think we want them two running hand in hand. I think we do a great job with Park and Rec, so it can be separate establishment, so it will not be a political thing within this county. We don't need that. It's a lot of things. Yes, I do see the Park and Recreation do need to do. We need to get around this within the county to areas in the county who don't have recreation centers, who don't have a community center, who don't have a park. But yes, it takes money, and yes, we do need to do that. We need to do more mobiles, going out in the community and doing a lot more work. And honestly, when you really think about it, I don't think we need to take it away from Park and Rec. I think we need to better the service because they have been doing a great job. So thank you for letting me take the time to say that.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Next person we have is Kelly Porter.
Hi, how are you doing today? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Well, I'm an advocate of what was just being said with reference to Park and Recreation. I just think that all the things they've done, okay, and the way they partnered with the various communities has been advantageous. As most of what's been said, I echo. So there's not a lot more other than I think that this is the direction that we should maintain. That I yield.
Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate the input. Next, we have Mr. Justin Ross.
Good evening. Guys, hear me okay?
Yep.
I pulled over on the side of the road so I could so I could make sure I didn't miss this. I was coming from a meeting. Thank you guys for your service on the work group. Thank you to the folks at Park and Recreation for your committed work to the citizens of and the children of the county. My name is Justin Ross. I'm a lifelong resident of Prince George's County. Grew up in the public school system. I have been involved in youth sports. I was the transition committee chair for County Executive Alston-Brooks around youth sports. I had the pleasure of working with a lot of folks here on the call in the past. I just want to say that, as it relates to youth sports, I want to be specific to that. We have an issue in America as it relates to youth sports and sort of the paradigm between, people that are, paying, sort of the haves and the have-nots is getting worse and worse. We're not immune to that. But I think, Prince George's County is, frankly, we have some of the most talented, brilliant, capable, committed people that live here. And I believe that, we can build a youth sports and recreation program that is as good and as talented as the people that live here. I don't believe that's sort of only on the park and planning and park and recs. We clearly have an issue with, sort of the intersection between parks and rec and the school system and private organizations and boys and girls clubs and others. But we are smart, talented people, and we can figure this out together. There's no question in my mind that what we're currently doing, despite sort of, a lot of really talented people involved in it, we have there's a lot more we could do. There's a lot more we could do. There's a lot more lives we could touch. There's a lot more people who, can feel the effect of what it means to have a community, around them, supporting them. And this is not about sort of, elite sports and things like that. Frankly, the kids that play elite sports typically, they figure it out. Somebody figures it out for them. What we're really talking about is for the kids that might not even make their high school team, but sort of understand that, if there's an opportunity to be involved in something, to make friends, to sort of build confidence, to learn teamwork, to learn about failure, to learn about success, our whole entire county is going to be better off. The reality is that for a long time, until 2019, it wasn't even clear that sort of the youth sports was sort of whose job it was, right? And until the county executive passed the legislation to allow, with the help of the legislature and Senator, my good friend Senator Benson and others who supported that legislation in 2019, this is just furthering that there's a and I'm not speaking to whether or not there should be like how the governance is set up. That's not the conversation I'm having right now. The conversation is we can do a lot better, and our children are deserve it, and the people that live here are smart, talented, capable, and we have a lot of resources. And we need to be honest about the fact that there's a lot that we can do, a lot better we can do, and then let's get to work and do it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, guys.
Well, unfortunately, I am not seeing anyone else on our list. We had 33 people sign up to speak, but I'm not seeing any other speakers. We can give it another moment if we'd like. But so far, we do not have any other speakers signed up tonight who are on the call. So we can give, if there's anyone who's watching the call on YouTube who happened to sign up, please feel free to log in so we can hear from you, because we certainly wish to hear from everyone who wants to speak. Fortunately, I don't have any elevator music to play for anyone.
Ryan, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Just anyone who's on the call or on the Zoom. So I agree with what Ms. Queen said about taking activities to the communities who don't have anything. So I was just wondering if there was anyone else who agreed with that or knew of had some ideas about how to accomplish that.
So in the summer, we call it Recreation Without Walls. We take the activities outside with trucks, roller skating, game mobiles. We do movie nights in the community. We do it with Park Police. They also do, Park Police community days. And we take them through the communities that either has a civic association or a recreation council or anyone. So we partner with them to bring the community out. We also have done schools. We do playgrounds in the summer that also attract a number of children, and those are at the schools. So there have been also a number of sports activities, and Bill Sheehan can talk about those.
Yes, we've also, thanks, Wanda. We've also been able to do some various programs in some areas that may not necessarily have continuous activities. We'll take lacrosse clinics as far south as Accokeek Academy. We'll also take some of our specialized sports, whether it's boxing or a 3-on-3, to some of our community centers in our Teen Extremes program. We had a successful taking some specialized programming down to Glass Manor. So we'll just continue to do that and work with our rec and leisure service staff who, obviously know the community best and can let us know, what is being asked or what can we do to fill in some of those gaps with some, more consistent programming. One-time activities are great, but it's really about keeping some consistency and getting some momentum going. So that's what we've done, and we'll continue to.
Great, thank you.
And I may add, if you have any other ideas that we might want to implement, let us know now as we're planning for next summer now.
I've been involved with Maryland National Capital Park and planning for over 40 years. And I can tell you, I want to give you a prime example. When I was a principal at John Bain Elementary School, as a matter of fact, we were the first school to start an after-school program in which the teachers and the counselors and even the custodian volunteered to work in a tutorial program for our children in the afternoon. So that when school was dismissed, the children got a snack. After the snack, they did the homework with the tutoring. And we were concerned because we felt that for some of the children, there was a need for them to be there for an extended period of time with activities. We piloted a program with Maryland National Capital Park and Planning that really should be mirrored right now. There's not been a time that I have worked with Maryland National Capital Park and Planning that we didn't get positive results. The number of programs that are available from Maryland National Capital Park and Planning are too numerous to mention. I mean, they have received all kinds of awards on a national level, So when you talk about taking activities outside of the building, they do that. And people have been, I'm not saying that there's not room for improvement, but from my experience in working with Maryland National Capital Park and Planning, it has just been, it's been really remarkable. And the thing that I really love about it is that the people who work in these programs are people who are trained, who are experienced, you know, they are, I mean, it's been quite a rewarding experience. And I'm really excited about what they do for our seniors. For the senior citizen population, it's just been wonderful.
Thank you, Senator. Madam Chair, we are not getting any more participants tonight. I think people getting their holiday celebration started a little early. So we are at yours and the rest of the work group's discretion as to how we would like to move forward.
Is there any more discussion that the work group would like to have, or are there any questions from any of the attendees?
I had a question. I'm not sure if this is something that we can use this forum to even answer, but it just seems to be like a huge gap. I just want to see if there's any kind of explanation that anyone could give between individuals who, like, the level of awareness and access. It seems like between the individuals who called in, some people are extremely positive and they've experienced a wealth of access and awareness. I grew up in Prince George's County. I graduated from Gwen Park Middle and High School, went to Norfolk State University, and now I'm a business owner here in Prince George's County. And I've even experienced kind of the opposite side, not so much on the positive, but can anyone explain to me why there's either some people who have experienced a significant amount of awareness and they know all of the programs and they've experienced all these programs, and then there's some individuals who cannot seem to find a program in their neighborhood or just have not had the most positive experience when it comes to trying to access fields, buildings, and even opportunities like what Parks what they provide.
Or even maybe just some of the more popular activities as well. Like,
yeah.
May I chime in?
Please.
Please.
So my observation over the years, having, like many of you, I'm a native and grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, actually was a cheerleader in the Boys and Girls Club and raised my children in the Boys and Girls Club. And what I've noticed over the years is because we have so many additional clubs starting up, and that are not necessarily part of the Prince George's Boys and Girls Club. So there is there's a lot of demand for space for all of these extra clubs. I mean, quite frankly, tomorrow I can go out and start a cheerleading team, competition cheerleading team, and then look for space. And it's just not enough to go around to fit the needs of all of the clubs, and then with using schools competing with school activities as well. And so just on that particular area anyway, with fields and gyms, I think that's where the biggest problem is, because there's so much competition, because we have so many different teams now than what we had many years ago. Like when the chair and I were growing up, it was one Boys and Girls Club, and that that was it. It was the Prince George's Boys and Girls Club, and every community that had a team was a part of that. So and so it's so much different now. That one thing, excuse me, that's my observation. I noticed that as my children got older, and I'm still very involved in my local Boys and Girls Club, and I don't have children there anymore, but I still get to go and sit in the coach's corner and watch the football games, etc. There's just so much more competition for that. And I guess the other thing with individuals maybe not being able to find programs that they may desire, perhaps it could be a couple of things. One, maybe they're not necessarily natives the way we have been. So we kind of grew up in the boys with parks and planning. So we kind of have an idea of where to go to look. Individuals who maybe have relocated here in the past, 10, 12 years may not be as aware. And then two, maybe the particular program they may be interested in is not available. My experience in talking with people over the years is usually if there's a program that an individual desires that Park and Planning does not currently have, they're open to sponsoring that particular program. And I don't know what that could be. If I just used an example of, cake decorating, I don't know. If someone wanted a cake decorating club and you took that to Park and Plan, and they would see how they could do that in your community. So definitely there needs to be, there's always room for improvement. But I think that Park and Plan and Maryland National Capital Park and Planning is open to hearing suggestions on how they can improve, because I do believe that they want to be all that our community wants for itself. So thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. We do have one person who just popped into the room on the attendees list. It's Phyllis Wright. I think that will probably be the last person though. So Madam Chair, if you would like to allow us to hear from one more person.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. All right, Ms. Wright, we're going to bring you on in just a moment. Ms. Wright, are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
As a mother of two beautiful girls that's in Prince George's County Public Schools, I believe that Park and Planning is a great asset for our children, and it should be separate from Prince George's County Public Schools. My kids are at William Hall Academy, which is adjacent to Park and Planning, and they do offer activities that after school program in the school we does not have. And I believe it's a great safe haven for our children. I'm open to all suggestions. I was trying to get the principal and the director of Capitol Heights to join together, where the kids, once they get out of school, that they can go directly to Park and Planning and they can have activities there. But we can't get this program kicked it off because we don't have the sponsors, they don't have the staff. But we have a lot of parents that wants to be involved who cannot afford to pay to go elsewhere. And with us having these facilities there, I think we should use it. It would be a great safe haven for our children.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Madam Chair, we are at your direction as to how you like to proceed.
If there is no more discussion, then we can adjourn.
Just have a question. Those that register are not able to, or were not able to join, will they be able to send written comments? Or would there be a survey maybe on the website that they can go to?
Yes, so there was, for the sign-up sheet for this call, there was space to provide a written comment. There were a lot of people who are probably watching on YouTube right now, or may watch later, who were also given the space to provide written comment. I'll be providing that to you all immediately after this call.
Last question: if an individual is an employee of the county, can they still attend these calls? Like, can they speak, or would they be able to leave a message in the comments, or does it matter?
That doesn't matter. This is open to any and all Prince George's County residents.
Okay.
Okay, if there's nothing else, thank you everyone for attending and giving us your time and your thoughts. And we will take all of them under advisement. If there's nothing else, we can end our listening session. I believe, when is the next listening session, Ryan?
We haven't scheduled that.
Okay. All right, we will post something. I'm sure it'll be on the website. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Happy holidays, everyone.